Hey, good morning. Welcome to my free local and fun monthly email newsletter. If you're seeing this online and you don't subscribe, you can just go to jennifershenk.com/blog or click on the subscribe link in below this video. So I always forget something, so this time I have everything on an index card so I don't skip anything. A couple of really fun stories, actually a lot of really fun stories this issue. First one is called Lifetime of Clutter, I'm Not Doing This to My Kids. And where that comes from is I so frequently sit with sellers who are in their 60s or 70s, clearing through their parents' house. Hey, my parents have lived here for 60 years. They never threw anything away. So I'm going to go through my own house, not necessarily bringing you to that messy part of my house, but to just systematically go through the departments that I have. And the lowest hanging fruit for me or sports equipment, because we have so much sports equipment and our youngest child as of 2026 is 23. So we don't need any youth sports items anymore. Turns out I have 3 sets of golf clubs and no one in my family has ever played golf. So some of that must go, but there's more about that later. Then, very unexpectedly, due to my youngest son's had a flat tire, and when he went to go jack up the vehicle on the 20-year-old minivan we've had since it was new, what is it called? The jack went right through the frame, so it undrivable. So we do a lot of shuffling. So now he's making payments on Jay's car. Jay has my car, and I needed to go out shopping for a certified pre-owned vehicle, which is my favorite type to buy. So I actually wrote a story because I had such a good experience. I did not intend to end up at Wellesley Toyota. Guess what? Even though it has the W word in it, it is not any more expensive than any other Toyota dealers. And I found a great sales guy. I wrote a story about him. Even the finance guy was good. So highly recommend Wellesley Toyota. I ended up getting a 4Runner, which is something that apparently everybody likes. And I'm thrilled that I no longer need run flat tires and I can use regular gas. So that's pretty exciting. Last week we had a terrible snowstorm, and then we had a cold snap, and it was really cold. And then I saw this horrifying post of my neighbor's puppy was missing, and Lola is 6 months old and is largely white with a little bit of black, which after a snowstorm and everything's been plowed, we've got snow and dirt, that's all we see. So there was a huge effort to find Lola, and I'm not going to pretend I participated much in it other than driving around looking at snowbanks, not finding Lola. But I did communicate with the owners, and after they found her in a crazy way, I decided to make kind of a front desk, information desk of what you should do if your dog goes missing, because I worry about that all the time with our big dogs who aren't very smart, and if they got away, we're screwed. So I made links to what you should do, who you should contact, and then I put in there a sample flyer that if you're a newsletter subscriber, oh God, there's my dog's barking at the plow guy right now. If you're a newsletter subscriber and your dog is missing, reach out to me. I will make you a flyer stat. I'll print out copies for you. And I even have I've made a set of mailing labels if you want to mail to local animal hospitals and animal control, just to keep it easy for you. Speaking of dogs, like it or not, time to get your dog licenses renewed. Shout out to my friend Brian, who especially doesn't like having to license his dogs, but it's that time of year and I have a story about it. I don't laugh very often, but when I do, it's because we're playing board games that make me laugh. And I do like certain board games, like Upwards and Scrabble do not make me laugh, but Taboo cracks me up. Pictionary, Telestrations, I love them. So if you're gonna have a game night, invite us over. Trash and recycling, whether you're new to your town and you're like, how do I even get rid of things? Or you didn't know that there's a recycle center in your town. I wrote a resource story with links to Bytown in Central Mass, whether you're new or you just need clarity. Worcester Art Museum. So last summer, Jay and I went to Newport, which is my favorite place, and we bought membership in something called NARM. NARM, it's the North American Reciprocal Museum Association, and that makes us sound so boring, but we're not. But we love Newport, so we bought this membership, and now for a year we can go to so many museums. So that just reminded me of something. What was it? Oh, membership. I'm going to forget if I don't say it right now. if you're a senior, I'll post this story, but if you're considering, if you like the state parks, Massachusetts state parks, state forests, Leominster State Forest, and everywhere throughout the state, you can get a $10 lifetime pass for a senior pass for a specific vehicle. That reminds me, I have a new vehicle. I need to get a new tag. To have free parking and free access to all state parks. So that's really cool. That's through the DCR. If I don't have the story about it right now, but if you go on my website, jennifershenk.com, that's JENSHENK.com, and just search DCR, free pass, senior. If you're on my website, on my newsletter tab, everything is searchable now, which is pretty fun. So anyway, so with our NARM membership, we decided to go to the Worcester Art Museum. I asked Jay to write a story about it because I have a lot of stories to write every month. And when I read his story, it was so well done, except apparently all he cared about was the Higgins collection of arms and armor. So we have a lot of information about the arms and armor and a few pictures of the Monets and Renoirs and John Singer Sargent paintings that were so beautiful that I love. But apparently for Jay, it was all about the arms and armor. So then I wrote a resource story about what to do. So I'm in my decluttering, I'm not leaving this stuff to my kids. I realized sports gear is where I should start. So I created a story that is a resource story about where to sell or donate your used sporting goods. And I'm gonna move over here. These are the 3 sets of golf clubs we have that no one in my family has ever played golf. So my friend Joe knows somebody who really would like a set of clubs. So I think what we'll do is keep one, give one to my friends Joe, and figure out where to donate the other one. But some things I'm just gonna have a hard time getting rid of. Like this is my littlest daughter when she decided to go panning for gold in the very 90% of the year dry stream on our house in Westminster. So I'm gonna make her be 60 or 70 years old and see the panning for gold pan and laugh at it and decide to get rid of it. But I can't get rid of it now. We have to pick our battles. So I have a story about sports resources for sports gear. Speaking of my friend Joe and golf, Joe, I asked him to write a little story about his involvement in a foundation that he is in that's related to mental health for public safety personnel. And one of the initiatives is called Sets for Vets, F-O-R-E, golf pun there, Sets for Vets. So if your golf stuff mine's probably pretty gently used, but they're through the PGA Reach Foundation, which is the nonprofit arm of the PGA, and they are collecting sets of 5 years old or newer golf equipment, full sets, clubs, whatever you got, and they partner with the organization, and it's called Sets for Vets. And they set up veterans with golf equipment, and then find places for them to play. Just, it's good for mental health to get out there and I guess play golf. So I have a story about that. Then the Central Mass real estate market. I feel like it's going to be a great spring, and I'm not just saying that. The rates are lower. I'm talking with a ton of sellers. A lot of sellers that I'm talking with in January, I talked with at least 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can think of, probably more, people who they're downsizing and they're following their adult kids and their grandchildren. Various states, I don't want to say the states because people will feel outed, but there's some weird states that I'm like, wow, it's not really a retirement state, but that's where their kids move to. One couple has 2 kids in the same state that's not here. One couple has 1 kid and that kid wants to live in a different state. And in one case they're renting, which is a great idea. Figure out if you like the place. Don't buy there and then find that your kid moved to another state. Now you're stuck in Sheboygan. But when you're doing that, you need to make sure you're connected with a great broker on that end. And so I'm happy to connect people with brokers all over the country, all over the world. I love my referrals. I'm currently, I think I have like 6 or 7 right now, where it's like I've done the detective work, which I love. I love finding agents with great reviews and good productivity. Productivity meaning if you're a great buyer agent in an area and you like working with first-time buyers, like I can scout out to that level and find a good match for you. Also related to the real estate market, I've got a specific story of a house that I listed on New Year's Eve day. We had open houses that first weekend of January, which it snowed both days. I had 28 sets of people through, and I did not count anybody who came twice, which was about 10 sets of people. We ended up with 6 offers, and it's already sold. What's today? February 7th. they're already moving in. It sold earlier this week. So thrilled for those buyers, because I appreciate that the sellers reached out to me and I loved working with them. But these buyers I've been seeing at multiple open houses over the past 9 or 10 months. So I'm really happy for them that they landed in Westminster, and that's what the real estate market is like right now. I asked a tax professional, local, to write some advice on quietly building wealth. So she did that. Spoiler, it is about owning another property and renting it out, which is not for everyone, but it gives you kind of a point in the right direction. Get your burn permits. Someday we'll want to go outside. Right now it's a blizzard. And a whole list of my other resource stories, which I did also publish last month. But I'm at about almost 60 stories now that are accessible on my website. Just go to jennifershenk.com, hit newsletter right on the front screen, and then search whatever you want. You want to know about where to get custom cookies, or you want to know where to have breakfast, or you want to know how to get your burn permit, or where to bring your trash, or, I've got 60 stories like that. At request of people who've reached out to me, I did go back to ordering Red Sox sports magnets. Ironically, they will arrive tomorrow, which is the Super Bowl. So I'll have those set up at Vincent's Country Store, probably right at the register, and I'm happy to pop some in the mail if somebody wants one, or just connect with me and I'll drop one off to you. I'm not sportsy, so tomorrow is the Super Bowl, and all I care about is, I don't even know who they're playing. And I know the Patriots are in it, and I know it's tomorrow. But mainly I'm about the really good food, so that's my thing. We are, non-sportsy me, our neighbors were so kind as to invite us to see the Celtics last week, and there was a box. And I've never been to a Celtics game before, but now if you're gonna invite me, it needs to be in a box, because there was food in there and it was not crowded and it was really, really nice. So you probably won't ever see me at a sporting event again, other than cooking for tomorrow's Super Bowl. Google reviews. I love my Google reviews, and I'd love to get 100 Google reviews this year, and I'm on track. So just search me, just literally Google my name, Jen Shenk Realtor, Westminster Realtor, just look for my picture, and then you just, where you see the stars and the Google reviews, if it's not going to be a 5, reach out to me and let me know why, but just search me or go on my website and click on the reviews tab, and there's a button right there, write a review. It doesn't have to be that Jen sold my house, Jen helped me buy a house. It can be any kind of local resource or involvement. It's just Google loves new information, and I have so much business that comes to me from people who read my Google reviews that I would love people who I've already worked with to write Google reviews. My 2 most popular stories last month were Pure Tight, which is the crumbling concrete foundations in Massachusetts, that issue. Since I wrote that story that said there were 49 towns in Massachusetts that are affected, have at least one crumbling foundation, the number's gone up to 51. So 51 of the 351 municipalities in Massachusetts have at least one, some of them 60, 70 that we know of. There's working groups that have a report due at the end of March. And I think once a solution is, when they come up with a solution, hopefully they'll model it after the Connecticut way of helping homeowners. I think people will come out of the woodwork, just like they did in Connecticut. And exciting to me related to that is I got a call from a scientist in Colorado who Googled Pure Tight, crumbling foundations, and he found me in Massachusetts, real estate broker who cares about homeowners, who cares about homeowners with crumbling foundations. And I had an hour-long conversation with him about Pure Tight. So that was pretty exciting to be found on Google by a total stranger 3/4 of the way across the country. My second other popular story last month was Hear Me Out. Homemade pasta is easy and delicious. And I continue to make homemade pasta, and I just get better with it. It's just so good. New construction. If you're considering new construction and you don't even know where to start, how do I find land? How do I pick a builder? Should I buy something that's already halfway completed or all the way completed? I've sold about 100 new construction homes, mostly for sellers, some for buyers, and I'm happy to brainstorm your new construction journey. And my buyer agent, Emily, is currently building a house. She just recently went through the land finding process. So we're pretty well versed in new construction and happy to be an unbiased source. Right now, I actually have one listed at 1 Roberts Way in Westminster. and it is $800,000, and it's beautiful and it's finished. So it's new price, new construction, move in before spring. So you can reach out to me to find out about that. And let's see, referrals. Did I talk about referrals? I did, but I love referrals because it's fun to do the detective work, and I want to make sure that my clients here, or my clients here who can recommend one of their friends to reach out, that they have confidence knowing they're not just going on Zillow and getting assigned a random person to work with them to buy or sell elsewhere. So if you want to confidentially brainstorm anything about real estate, nobody's going to know. You notice I didn't mention any names or addresses here. Anything real estate related, or any kind of local resource things, I can always, if I don't know the answer, I can point you in the right direction. So you can call or text me, 978-870-9260. You can reply to any email you get from me, or just Google me and I'm easy to find, and I'll put all my contact info below on this video. All right, this is my longest one yet, 15 minutes, I'm sorry, but there's something in there for everyone, and if I can help with anything, and please write a Google review. I would love that. Thank you. Have a great day.